So Congresswoman Brown, thank you so much for being here with us today. I am very excited to meet with you and to get a chance to pick your amazing brain because not only am I the vice president of COSE, but also I'm a small business owner and I am a Black female business owner running a business and a family and a life in Cleveland.
Well, first of all, congratulations to you. Thank you for having me on your show. And as a fellow former Black woman who owned a small business, I understand the struggle, and the struggle is real, right? And I think that what I had experienced when I was a small business owner is that I would hear about all these opportunities, but there was so much red tape and so much so many things that seemed to get in the way of actually getting to the resources that like we need some help. And so it was a cry that I heard when I served on local county council, when I also served as a city councilwoman. Other small business owners was feeling the same pain that I was feeling and feeling the same frustration. And so rather than, say, okay, this is here and you just click this link and figure it out, I wanted to make it very accessible to small businesses who were like me, who wanted to thrive and grow and bring the experts, the ones who have direct access to these resources right here in our community so that we can get a real opportunity to tap into what is going to be historic investments. I mean, when we talk about the bipartisan infrastructure law, yes, it is a big, big bill. Overall, $1.2 trillion across the country. But that means billions of dollars into our state. And that means we can change generational wealth. We can create generational wealth and make investments in communities that historically have been left out or didn't have a seat at the table.
Right? For small business. I mean, that's why so many of us even start these businesses. That's why we do it. When I started my first business 25 years ago, I kept saying, I want to make sure that I can do what my friends in college did when they said, were you going home for summer to work? Where are you going? I'm going to work for my uncle. I'm going to work for daddy. I'm like, I want my kids to say that about me. And that generational wealth piece is critical, especially for our community.
Exactly.
So I love that, so that you could bring all of those resources and tools. So I did not know that you were a small business owner. Tell me about that.
So it's I did marketing and business and printing and marketing. So people who needed, and I was focused on small to medium sized businesses that needed help with their marketing materials. So business cards, brochures, apparel, things of that nature. I wanted to help people build their brands, and so it was a fun job. But this job that I have now as your public servant is far more rewarding. But I understand, again, having worked with and not having many entrepreneurs in my family, but having close relationships with people who were entrepreneurs who, again, would express many of the same frustrations. And so I know the value of it. I know how important it is. So it was important to me, again, with the amount of money that will be coming through this state, to make sure that small businesses and even aspiring businesses are getting ready. We're talking, again, about billions of dollars over the next decade. And so these are prime opportunities, again, for people who historically haven't been able to tap in, to get tapped in, to get plugged in, and to get their businesses up and ready so that they can start to benefit from these historical investments around the bipartisan infrastructure law and the CHIPS and Science Act.
So if you could give one piece of advice to small business owners as we continue to embark on that growth in technology and all the opportunity that exists there, where would you tell them to focus their efforts and energy on what's available?
Oh, my goodness. That is a great question. What I would encourage people to focus on is their passion, really, at the core. They say there's an expression: if you do what you love, you never feel like you're going to work.
Oh yeah,
never, and
feel
so
that every day.
Yeah, and so you have to, when you're doing something, I would say, yes, you want to do something that's going to make you a lot of money, but do you have a real passion for it? Because if you have a real passion for it, then I've learned that eventually it comes to pay for itself. You will figure, it will, there's a scripture in the Bible: your gifts will make room for you, right? And so when you are using your gifts and you are walking in your purpose, you might not feel the money might not come in the first year or 2 years. You have to do this because you really love what you do. And so I know that might not be the politically correct response, because we're talking about the small business administrator being here and resources being available. Those things are going to be available whether you are doing X, Y, or Z. So focus on the purpose and the passion, and then you'll be able to tap into those resources that are already available, and never ever lose your thirst for learning and how you can be a vessel to other people.
Amazing words of wisdom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.